Hi everyone! So it's been quite a long time since I filmed any videos or any content for YouTube. It's just been a very busy few months, getting back to work and being super busy. So I've decided over the next few months that I'm going to try and make a few more videos, share my experience with electric cars, specifically the Polestar, but maybe there'll be less videos than I used to make, but hopefully not as long a gap as there was between this one and the previous one. So the thing that inspired me to film this video was that over the last 3 or 4 months, I haven't bothered to use the Polestar app at all. It was one of the things that I was really excited about getting for this car was having an app that would allow you to do things remotely with the Polestar. I felt that Tesla had really good apps. Even BMW had a pretty good app on my previous car. But when I got the Polestar last October, there was nothing. But to be honest, I was a little bit disappointed. I think if you saw my previous videos about the app, it didn't really deliver very much, and I found that kind of frustrating. Now, this is just my opinion, okay? So please, you can leave thoughts and feedback in the comments by all means, and it starts with some really interesting discussions. But I have seen one of the excuses mentioned on various forums and Facebook groups is that Polestar are not a big company like BMW and Kia. And yeah, that's absolutely true. They are not. However, it's worth bearing in mind that they have solid links to Volvo. They have, they've made a car. So if you can make a car this good, but you can't make an app that is good, well, I don't know. That's annoying to the user. That really is. And yeah, okay, Polestar are not an app development company. They aren't. But it's something that really did, I don't know, I think leave almost every user kind of a bit disappointed. The truth is, though, when I didn't use the app, I just simply thought to myself, well, I don't really need it. Like, what used to me as an app during the summer months when I don't rely on the phone as key for me. I personally find that too risky anyway. So with any car that I've had or driven, I would always keep the key with me just because I don't feel like I'd be comfortable just using the phone. What if my phone battery runs out or I lose it? So I like the comfort of having both options. So I didn't really bother, but this video is just going to show you a little bit about the Polestar app, how it works, and how it has actually improved, because it is a lot better than it was. So what I did is, I guess about 2 weeks ago, I thought I need to give this a go again. I need to try the app properly. So I deleted it, I reinstalled it, and I set it up following the instructions very, very closely. Now, at first, I couldn't get it to work because on the display, and I will show you this here, have a look at the screen. So if you look here, the display, if I push this button up here, it will take me to this account. And if I push the button there, it will show you connect key to profile, no key connected, account, screen lock, digital key and remote function. So if I click digital key, it shows me this here. My phone is the OnePlus 9 Pro. Now, before I was using this phone, it had my previous phone on there because I had set up my previous phone as key. But I wasn't able to remove that other phone and then put this new phone in place. So I wrote to Polestar customer support and they told me what I needed to do was just basically start fresh, create a new profile. So I did that. I followed their instructions and created a new profile on the car. And I set it all up from scratch, and it probably took me about half an hour. But that's one thing that's kind of annoying. It seems a little silly to me that when you replace your phone, you need to go through the whole process of almost starting fresh, as if you had never used the digital key before. Now, in the last few months, we've actually got a Kia Soul EV, a new one, on a lease, and that has an excellent app that was very easy to set up with multiple phones. There's no need to fiddle around quite in so much depth and detail. So I think that's something that's kind of lacking with the Polestar again. It's a little bit difficult to set the app up. But now that the app is up and running, let me switch over to my phone and I will film the screen and show you a few useful things in the app. Okay, so when you open up the app, this is the screen that you will see if you are logged in. On the bottom right, you've got your account there, and you can see your VIN number and a variety of different things. But on the main page here, you'll be able to see the details, the information that is most relevant to the app that's specific for the car. So you've got the charging percent there. I'm charging at the moment. and that's saying 32%, completing at what does it say? So it says completes at 101 with a range of 85 miles. Now if you look up here on the display, what does that say there? 33% completing at 102. So they're almost exactly matched, which is kind of useful. One thing I want to point out here is that this is nice. Now we have a single phase display and a little bit more information in the charging screen, a little charging info there. So that is showing the percentage, and close that box. And then we've got our doors here, which is our locking and unlocking function. That is really useful because if you're away from the car and you're not sure if you've locked it, you can log in and have a look at that. And then you've got the climate button here. So on here I can press start, and that will start the climate control remotely. And then you also have, now this is something that's useful and has been added, is you can set up timers. So you'd be able to click add timer on there and set up a new one. So you might be able to hear the fan in the background. I've just hit start climate, so that's what set off the climate in the background. On this button down here, you've got like little bits of help here, shows you how to configure things, and then you've also got your configure, and that's basically to buy, to just explore and purchase, and it's an extension of the Polestar website. But this is the main page that gives you your most functionality. And this is the kind of point of this video. You really are limited to seeing your battery percentage, your door status, your climate control, and your timers. Now this is saying fail to sync, but it probably would work absolutely fine if I wasn't sitting in the car trying to do this. That's what you get in the Polestar app. Now, it isn't the most comprehensive or advanced app that I have ever seen for any particular car. So hopefully that gives you a basic overview of the app in the Polestar. There isn't much to it. It doesn't give you that much that you can really work with, but it's functional and it works. And I think being able to turn on and off the climate control and set those timers from the app is really, really useful, because it means you don't have to go out to the car anymore and set those timers manually. You can be sitting in the house thinking, I'm going to leave for work at 6 in the morning. It looks cold, so I'll set my climate control. Very, very useful feature. But what I want to show you now is how good it could be. If you own an electric car already, something like a Kia or even a Tesla, then you'll be familiar with this kind of experience. But if you don't, then this will give you an indication of what you can expect from a competitor like Kia. So let's have a look at the screen again. Okay, so this is the Kia app. Now, the Kia app is showing here connected to the car, 308 kilometer range. I find this kind of annoying because I have mine set to miles, but it still sometimes shows kilometers and I do not know why. So if I go to user settings, I can't even remember where it is, but it's somewhere. It might be under app settings. Yeah, look, app settings, miles, unit miles, and it still shows kilometers here. That's annoying, but sometimes it will change to miles. That's one of the flaws. So no app is perfect, but on the home screen shows the car connected. It allows you to lock, start climate control, unlock. It shows the temperature. It even shows your location, vehicle status. You can go into, it'll show battery level there, and go back to home. It even shows where the car is located on the map, which is just, that's really cool. Calendar information, my trips, and then if you go to remote, you can change the climate temperature setting. You can go into defrost and heating controls. You can start and stop your charging remotely. It's so comprehensive. Status page, that's more of the similar type of stuff. I mean, it even has a little battery warning here. This is your 12-volt battery status, okay? Your bonnet, boot, tailgate status. Again, that's the map showing you where the car is. It's so much more advanced than the Polestar one. Okay, so it says retrieving charging schedule. So I have mine set, schedule for charging, off-peak tariffs prioritized, midnight 30 to 4:30 a.m. So that's basically saying I have a cheap tariff in the middle of the night on Octopus Energy, and I have told it to prioritize that. But the clever thing is you can set that to whatever you like, and you can also set off-peak tariffs only. So that will force the car to only charge an off-peak. What I've got it set to is off-peak tariffs prioritized. So it's going to take advantage as best it can from that section. But what it's aiming to actually do is it is aiming to charge to whatever percentage I have set it to. So I need to find that. Now, as I said, nothing's perfect, but somewhere Oh, you can schedule climate control as well, by the way. Defrost off, defrost on, and the target temperature. But somewhere in here, I have set a target. Maybe it's under the start charging page. There is a target percentage that you're aiming to achieve. So yeah, I found it. It took me a while there. Charging and energy on the front page. Set charging limits. There we go. So fast charge 90%, standard charging 80%. So that page that said prioritize is going to then prioritize achieving what I've said here, 80%. So say you plug in at night at 60%, it will look at it and think, 20%, yeah, I can do that in the 4-hour block. If you plug it in with 10%, it's not going to do all the way to 80% in a 4-hour block, but it will prioritize that, because you might plug it in at 3 p.m. and it will look ahead to when you've set your departure time in the morning. So that's smart. Then we've got an energy consumption page, and this is data that most people don't need, but it's something that I love having, because if you want to look at it, just out of curiosity more than anything else, it's there for you. So I think that's really nice. You can see your energy consumption, you can see graphs, you can see driving distance, and on the main page at the bottom there is even a where was it? There's a monthly vehicle report which will let you look at how many miles you've done, the number of start stops, cycles. So much information available to you. So that is a little bit of an overview of how the Kia Soul EV app works, and I'm assuming that is the app that Kia use for pretty much all of their vehicles. You can see how much more advanced and more in-depth that is compared to the Polestar. And it's not a deal breaker, because I wouldn't say I spend every day using that Kia app, but there are features that we do use in it. Scheduled charging is a really, really useful thing. I find that just makes a lot of sense, because if you're able to, if you have a cheap tariff at night or anything like that, you really want to take advantage of that. You don't just want to plug in and have it charge up to whatever you've set. You actually want it to be able to think in a more smart concept, being able to set the temperature inside, lots of features. So hopefully Polestar will add these in the future. But what I really wanted to emphasize in this video is that don't expect an exceptional app from the Polestar. It is a great car, there's no question about that, but there are cars with far better apps. So just be warned that this is not going to give you perhaps the most satisfying experience from that point of view. I want to just show you though very quickly my workaround for scheduled charging. I don't have a smart home charger. I have it's like a really old charging unit. We've had something like 4 years, and it's just a plug-in unit, but we have an OhMe cable, OhMe, and that I find is a really good workaround. So I'll just show you on the screen how I set up scheduled charging using that. Okay, so this is the OhMe screen here. Now you can see on my display there that I'm charging, so completing at 113, I'm getting 16 miles an hour, 29 amps, 226 volts. Now on the OhMe screen, it's not the most advanced app, but it depends on the car you've got. So if I click here to change target, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my finish time. It doesn't matter, I don't really care. All I want to force this to do is charge during my cheap tariff at night. So I put 6:30 finish time, and I'll just put some random number. If I click confirm, then it will say 13 miles current charge plus 180 miles. This data is kind of useless, but change target and click on this. Don't charge above 5 pence per kilowatt hour, and then confirm. So I've set this so that it knows that my cheap tariff in the middle of the night is 5 pence per kilowatt hour. And I must emphasize that I'm aware that energy prices are very high at the moment, and this is quite a stressful thing for a lot of people. We were quite fortunate. We on Octopus Go, and the time at which we signed up means our rates are really good. I don't know what you can get at the moment, but 5 pence per kilowatt hour overnight is very cheap. And what it's done here is it shows you this little graph. It's actually not going to do anything until it gets to 1:30 at night. It's not the most detailed, 12:30 at night display, and then it will start charging, and it will give me as much. It thinks it's going to give me 93 miles during that little block over there. But I don't consider that to be particularly useful. All I'm looking for this app to do is to stop charging, which it has. You can see it's not charging at all now, and then to start charging at 12:30 at night and stop charging at 4:30 in the morning. So by doing that, it allows you to save money and charge during that off-peak time in the middle of the night, and just optimize optimize that kind of costing, because if you can get a cheap tariff that lets you charge in the middle of the night, then you will save quite a significant amount of money. And it isn't possible at the moment to set the scheduled charging anywhere within the Polestar, but you can do it using something like the OhMe cable, or if you have a smart charger at home, then you can probably do it through the app that you're already using. So I hope this video was useful. It's nice to come back and make some more content to put onto YouTube, and I'll be back again with another video, hopefully not too distant future. Thank you.